Okay, to understand the various types of leukemias, let's look at these questions as a sample, and then I'll tell you a very short trick to understand all these questions about various type of leukemia. So first of all, you need to see the what is given in the question, correct? So in this, a 54-year-old patient complains of general weakness, frequent colds, bruises appearing on the body. Erythrocyte content is given, hemoglobin content is given, color index is given. All these are apparently normal. Reticulocytes are absent. Platelets are normal. Now leukocytes, first of all, we need to see. Leukocytes here are very much. Normally it should be 4 to 9 into 10 raised to the power 9. Here it is 58 into 10 raised to the power 9. Correct? So when first of all remember that if leukocytes are increased to a very much extent, 10 times, 20, 5 times, 6 times, 8 times, this is leukemia. So if it is from 4 to 9, which is normal, 4 to 9 into 10 raised to power 9, it is increased to 20 into 10 raised to power 9, or here 58 into 10 raised to power 9. Always suspect leukemia. First thing you need to notice. And then you need to look at the leukogram. And to understand leukogram, let's go to the next slide. I hope you are able to understand this. So remember, this is the basic lineage of all these cells, and normally the question is asked from the myeloid lineage and the lymphoid lineage. If it is acute leukemia of myeloid origin, or acute leukemia of lymphoid origin, or chronic myeloid leukemia, or chronic lymphoid leukemia. So you will be able to understand this from this picture. If there is an increase in these cells, the stem cells, multipotent stem cells, the common myeloid progenitor cells, the common lymphoid progenitor cells, the blast myelocytes, and the blast lymphocytes. Remember, this is a case of acute leukemia. If there is an increase in all these various cells, promyelocytes, myelocytes, metamyelocytes, prolymphocytes, uh, pro, like all the various meta lymphocytes, and everything you'll be able to see in lymphoid lineage except the lymphoblast. If prolymphocytes also appear, so this is a case of chronic leukemia. Acute myeloleukemia is when there would be increased number of blast myeloid cells, and lymphoid acute leukemia will be there when there would be increase in blast lymphoid cells. But normally you cannot differentiate between myeloblast and lymphoblast. So they may just mention over there blast cells are increased or blast cells are present. If there is only blast cell present in the leukogram, and these promyelocytes and prolymphocytes are not present, always go for acute undifferentiated leukemia. You don't know which type of leukemia is it because they have not mentioned the type of blast cell. They have just read blast, they just have written blast cells. So from that question, go for undifferentiated leukemia. But by any god grace, they have mentioned that these are myeloblast increased or lymphoblast increase. You go for acute myeloblastic or acute lymphoblastic accordingly. Now in the question, if there is increased amount of promyelocytes, metamyelocytes, band cells, and all these lineage cells, it is chronic myeloid leukemia. If there is increased in the lymphoid lineage after lymphoblast, lymphocyte, this is chronic lymphoid leukemia. Pretty much simple. It is on the basis of cells. Only blast cells, acute. All the other cells appear, the mid juvenile cells, it is chronic. In the question you can see there is appearance of myeloblasts, myelocytes, juvenile cells, stab neutrophils. So this is chronic myelogenous leukemia. If it was only myeloblast, you could have said that this is acute myelogenous leukemia, but myelocytes and juvenile cells are also present in increased proportion. So this is chronic myelogenous leukemia. Correct? I hope you understand. Similarly, if there is instead of myeloblast, there is lymphoblast, prolymphocytes, lymphocytes. This is chronic lymphocytic leukemia.